Hello, my name is Brave, and today I wanted to answer a question: which of the 9 free decks is the best for you? As you may know, when you are a new player or old returning player, you will be offered one of the 9 free decks. Unfortunately, there is no Demon Hunter deck. However, I wanted to check what kind of decks are there available for you and which of those is the strongest and the best for you. Please note that this is done at the Skullaman's Academy, October 2020. So if there are any nerfs or buffs in the future, this might change. Also, with the new expansion, there might be some changes in the decks or new decks available. So without any further ado, let's jump into the I will talk about the free decks that you can receive when you come back to the game. In order from the least powerful to the most powerful, the first 5 decks that I will present are, in my opinion, least powerful and you should not take them. The following 4 are reasonably good. All of them are pretty good, and you can choose whatever you like to play or want to play. The first is Mage. This is no minion Mage. It's not that great in the meta currently. It has only one legendary card. The legendary card is pretty good, but the overall deck is not that great. Then we have Warlock, and this is Galakrond Warlock. The legendary from Warlock is not that great. Overall, not good. Warrior, Pirate Warrior, doesn't seem that much play. It's not a great deck. The legendaries that you have are okayish, but not that great, so I would skip this one. Then we have Druid, Big Druid. This is a deck, if you don't want to play the decks that you receive, the free decks, but you only look for the cards, this deck has Alexstrasza, so if you don't have it, it has Isera Unleashed, good legendary from Druid. If you want, you can take this deck, but this deck is not great. Shaman, Galakrond Shaman, it has Lurker below. I don't know why Shaman has another removal tool, like Shaman is the best class to remove, except for mages maybe. So I don't know why they still give them removal. Maybe that's why they don't see that much Shaman in the meta. And then we have Resurrect Priest, which is a decent deck. It's fun to play. It's hard to learn, but it's fun to play. It has two legendaries. One is Archmage Vargot, which sees play in Token Druid, in Control Warrior, sometimes in Priests. Katrina Muerta is a Resurrect Priest specific, this archetype. The game plan is to overwhelm, to remove all the threats and put your big minions, then overwhelm your opponent with resurrecting them again and again, and you win. You can also try to add Galakrond package, so meaning Galakrond the Unspeakable, which is a very powerful version of the Galakrond. In Priest, it adds you a random Priest minion to your hand, which is very powerful, especially in the late game, when your opponent starts to have low number of cards in his hand. You can still generate cards over and over again. And Kronk's Dragon Hoof, which is a very powerful card to play with Galakrond, and some other priest cards. Basically, you create a version of this deck, and it's quite good. Then we have Rogue. Rogue is the best Galakrond deck from the ones that you are offered. It has the standard Galakrond package, but also it includes 2 very good legendaries from Rogue: Flick Skyshift and Heist Baron Togwaggle. This deck is already decent. By including Edwin, Jandis, and Lorekeeper, you can create, and some other cards, you can create a deck that can take you to the high legend even. Rogue is not the easiest class to pilot, but the deck is very powerful in the first version and in the modified version also. Then we have Hunter. Hunter is a Highlander hunter. Which means that it has the Highlander cards, Zephrys the Great, Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, both very powerful and used in every single Highlander deck because they are very powerful and they are created for the Highlander decks purpose. Highlander meaning this deck only has one copy of each card. Dino Tamer Bran is another card that has synergy with Highlander decks. It's hunter specific. Overall, the deck maybe doesn't have that high win rate, but definitely it's fun to play. If you look for a deck that feels fresh every time you play, and is powerful if you have the right matchup and you pilot it correctly. I think this deck has potential. You can also experiment by adding and removing some of the cards. For example, this version has a modified 5 cards, and then you can try to even increase the win rate by answering to the current meta situation. Finally, we have Paladin, which is the pure Paladin revolving around buffing your minions. You have 2 legendaries, both quite good. Tyrion Forging is a classic set Paladin legendary, which is quite good, and Lady Liadrin, this is a very powerful legendary in the current meta. Then we have the Librams package, which is 2 minions that are reducing the cost of your Librams, and then your Librams. You basically, the game plan is to put something on your board, buff it, clear the opponent's board, and then kill him with overwhelming stats on your side. This deck is relatively easy to learn, so for beginners I think this is the perfect deck to learn the game, because even if you misplay something, you will see it right away that you have misplayed something, and you can learn. You can also experiment with this deck by adding some epics and legendaries. Blessing of Authority, this is a really aggressive buff that if your opponent doesn't have an answer to, he will die. Devout Papil, another very good card. Argent Braggart, this is another very greedy card that if your opponent doesn't have an answer, it will be very difficult for him. And High Abbess Allura, great legendary. Overall, this deck has quite good win rate, but it loses to Broom Paladin. This is a new archetype. So overall, I think I would take either Hunter, Paladin, Rogue, or Priest. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was valuable for you. If yes, please give me a like on YouTube. Please also follow me on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube.